Route 66 has always been a road with a reputation. Stretching across deserts, ghost towns, and forgotten stretches of America, it carries more than just travelers. It carries stories. Truckers, late-night drivers, and highway patrol officers have passed down warnings for decades. Don't stop after midnight. Don't pick up hitchhikers. And if someone appears suddenly in your headlights, keep driving. Most people laugh those warnings off
until they experience it themselves.
In the late 1990s, a man driving alone through the Arizona stretch of Route 66 was returning from a night shift job. It was just after 1 a.m., and the road ahead was empty for miles. No gas stations, no towns, just desert and darkness. As he crested a slight hill, his headlights caught something standing on the shoulder of the road. A hitchhiker.
Male. Tall.
Wearing outdated clothing that didn't match the temperature or the era. The man slowed down despite knowing better. He later said he felt compelled to stop, like something inside him had already decided. The hitchhiker didn't wave. He didn't smile. He simply opened the passenger door and sat down. He smelled like dust and old leather. When asked where he was headed, the hitchhiker answered quietly, "Just keep driving." His voice was calm, almost hollow. The driver assumed shock or exhaustion and continued down the highway. After a few minutes, he tried again to make conversation, but the hitchhiker stared straight ahead, unmoving, eyes reflecting faintly in the dashboard light. As the miles passed, the driver began to feel uneasy. The air inside the car felt colder, even though the heater was running. The hitchhiker finally spoke again, whispering details about the road ahead, sharp turns, broken pavement, even a dead animal lying around a bend miles away. Each detail turned out to be true. When the driver asked how he knew, the hitchhiker replied, "I've been here longer than you." The radio began to crackle with static. The dashboard lights flickered. The driver felt a pressure in his chest, like fear mixed with dizziness. When he looked over again, the hitchhiker's reflection was missing from the window. His seatbelt was unfastened, but the door had never opened. Panicking, the driver slammed on the brakes and pulled over. He jumped out, expecting the man to vanish into the desert. But the hitchhiker was gone without a trace, no footprints, no sound, no movement. Relieved, the driver got back into his car and continued driving. That's when he heard breathing behind him. It wasn't loud, just slow and steady, coming from the back seat. He pulled over again, heart racing, flashlight shaking in his hand as he checked the rear seats. Empty. But the breathing continued, closer now, right behind his headrest. Then came the whisper, low and familiar. "You weren't supposed to stop." The driver sped away, not stopping again until sunrise. When he reached his destination, he noticed something carved lightly into the inside of his passenger door. For words scratched deep into the plastic. "I never left." The man reported the incident to local authorities, but there was nothing they could do. No missing persons matched the description. No fingerprints. No evidence. But when the story circulated among truckers and Route 66 regulars, reactions changed. They didn't dismiss it. They recognized it. For decades, similar stories had been reported along Route 66, especially near abandoned towns and long desert stretches. Drivers described picking up a hitchhiker who vanished without opening the door. Others said the passenger never disappeared at all, remaining unseen but present, whispering directions, warnings, or threats. Some drivers claimed the voice stayed with them for days, even weeks, long after leaving the highway. One retired highway patrol officer admitted he'd responded to multiple crash scenes where survivors insisted someone else had been in the car moments before impact. A hitchhiker, always silent, always appearing after midnight. In one case, a man swore his passenger grabbed the steering wheel just before the crash, whispering, "Not yet." The car rolled off the road. The driver survived. The passenger did not exist. There were darker cases, too. Vehicles found abandoned along Route 66 with doors closed, engines cold, and radios stuck on static. No signs of struggle. No bodies. Just faint scratch marks on the inside of windows, as if someone had tried to get out or keep something in. In one recovered vehicle, Investigators found handprints on the headliner above the driver's seat, fingers pressed downward as if someone had been leaning close from behind. Locals believe the hitchhiker is tied to a fatal crash decades ago, when a man was killed trying to flag down help after his car broke down. Others believe it's not one spirit, but many manifestations of those who died alone on the road, absorbed into it. The road remembers them, and sometimes it sends them back. Modern drivers still report the same thing: the feeling of being watched, sudden cold spots inside the car, the sensation of weight on the passenger seat when no one is there. Some hear whispering when the road is empty, repeating a single phrase, "Don't stop." One woman documented her experience in a video recorded on her phone while driving late through Route 66. She complained about the temperature dropping and joked about feeling someone sitting beside her. Halfway through the recording, a second voice whispered her name. The video cut off abruptly. She was found hours later parked safely at a rest stop, shaken but alive. She claimed she never remembered stopping. She later sold the car, saying it never felt empty again. The most disturbing part is what long-haul drivers say quietly among themselves. If you stop and let the hitchhiker in, you might make it home. If you panic and try to force him out, he stays longer. And if you acknowledge him, really see him, he might follow you off the road entirely. That's why experienced drivers never stop on Route 66 after midnight. They don't look too closely at the shoulder. And if they feel a presence inside the car, they keep driving until the sun comes up. Because on Route 66, some hitchhikers don't need a ride. They're already inside your car.